right now. All right, man, we got a lot to talk about. But
Yep.
before we get to the big parts, I want to talk about TNA's anniversary and the Great American Bash from a few years ago.
I didn't really watch the neither of them. I didn't, but I seen highlights of it partially.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. I watched the whole Great American Bash show because I was able to watch it myself. Um, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show. I liked it. I liked that Kendall Gray got her victory. That was a really good main event. There was a lot of close calls in that match too. So yeah, Kendall Gray and Lola Vice really delivered that main event spot. Tony D'Angelo retained against Naraku in a crazy fight, I would say. Tatum Paxley is probably gonna get called up now. She lost to Zarya in a really kind of an underrated title match in my opinion. Um, so yeah, the speed title match is a speed match, pretty much like a fast paced, passable match. Ren Sinclair retained against Ariana Grace. Um, the Dark State rivalry is entertaining. Shaquan defeats Lennox just to get assaulted by Osiris and Cutler James. So that feud ain't gonna end anytime soon, which is not surprising. And Charlotte Hill beat Tristan Angels in a pretty funny match, I would say, because there was a part in the match where they had Tristan under the ring and like Charlotte Hill was just like toying around with him under the ring. And I was just like, what the heck am I watching? It's like the kind of cinematic match you see back in the 2020s.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was that. I know there was 7 matches on the card. Oh yeah, and lastly, Miles Bourne beat Tavion Heights to retain his North American title in a pretty entertaining first babyface match. So yeah, nothing too special happened at the bash, but it was a pretty good show for how it was. Now, Slammiversary, the only things that like I know much about is Nick Nemeth is the new TNA champion. Zion Brookside, I think that's what her name is. Beat Xia Li to become the Knockouts champion. And the Elegance brand lost the Knockouts tag titles to I think it's I don't know, I think her name is Havoc. I don't know her name, but it's her and Allie, which was the bunny in AEW. No, it was Rosemary. That's the woman I'm talking about. Rosemary and Allie beat Heather and by Elegance for the tag titles. Apollo Cruz is in TNA, so that's interesting. That's interesting to see. I can't wait to see what Apollo Cruz does. Let's hope the booking people actually treats him right.
They
So
should, anyways.
yeah, Apollo Cruz is so talented in the ring. Like he was a good mid carder for what it was. He was a solid US and mid and intercontinental champion. But other than that, he wasn't really doing much after he lost the IC title. But yeah. Before we get to Raw, let's get into Night of Champions.
Um,
Um, so by the way, I've been saying it on a couple of streams. Oh, by the way, Forbidden Door, I'll get to Forbidden Door last because I just want to get this out the way for WWE. I go into TNA WWE because they're in a collapse. I decided to do those two first, and then I'll do AEW last. So Nine Champions, I got 5 out of the 6 predictions right, but the main event I got wrong. We'll get to that later on. But right now, Oba Femi is the king of the ring. I'm happy about that. But Jay apparently Jay was um showing that he can gain Oba a run for his money. Again, I didn't watch Nine Champions because I was out, so I only watched YouTube shorts of the matches. So that's what I've seen. But yeah,
yeah.
Oba won King of the Ring, and I am optimistic about it. I'll get to why when we get to Raw afterwards. And your thoughts?
Well, Jay Uso did made it clear that Oba did tap out.
Again, I didn't watch it, so I don't know like the full story of it.
I seen the
So
post and Jay Uso posted about it, and Bronson Reed did retweet it, and he looked like he did tap out.
mm, I don't know because like given what's going on, what happened on Raw, they might have to do a couple storylines. But I'm kind of loving what they're doing on Raw. I would say, despite it being such a mess, I actually kind of mind about. Again, we'll get to that later on. Um, Tiffany Stratton retained her U.S. title against Jade Cargill with the
Yeah,
help of
that was,
with
that
the
was
help of
a
Chelsea Green and Charlotte Flair.
yeah. So they're building
Eh,
a feud with Charlotte and Jade for SummerSlam. Then right there.
What were you saying about the title before I cut you off accident?
I was not expecting Chelsea Green to actually retain though. I was like thinking it's gonna be the same thing as what happened. Jade Cargill winning the mid card title, like she pretty much beat Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship.
That's why I wanted Tiffany to retain because I didn't want her to lose to Jade Cargill at both title matches. So that's why I went for Tiffany. And I also knew that Chelsea was getting involved. I completely forgot Charlotte Flair was even like she was in a capability to help Jade Cargill. I completely forgot about that, but it helped. So I'm excited for a Cargill versus Charlotte match. That looks to be good, but I'm still waiting on that Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill match. That match is gonna put butts in seats, but Bianca's finger just get healed up. Like her finger is just I don't know, man. Like it's bad. I understand that. But when she gets cleared, we're gonna get that banger match one day.
100% it will be.
Io Sky beat Liv Morgan. Thank you for Danhausen for cursing Liv Morgan, which helped benefit in my prediction. And we're getting Io versus Liv at SummerSlam. I kind of saw that coming, but I thought they were going to go for a swerve and go for Io versus Rhea. But again, I've heard rumors of Rhea Ripley is injured and not cleared to compete. So I kind of saw they were going to do Io and Liv. I don't really mind that, really.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm glad Liv did not win Queen of the Ring because that would just be a whole waste of a tournament. I thought the whole tournament itself was disappointing. Like they could have had it, they could have put Roxanne in there. I would have taken if it was Roxanne versus Io, I would have taken Roxanne. But they went Liv and Io, which I was fine with the match. Io Sky really showed out her best, but like again, I just feel like Liv filled in their spot that they could have filled instead of Liv. Do you think that Liv Morgan loses to Io Sky at SummerSlam or no?
I'm thinking that she might, but I don't think she would. But I think she would lose it to either Raquel or Roxanne, whichever one turns on them.
The only way that I see Liv losing the title is if the Judgment Day betrays her, but not Dominic, of course. Just like the female part of Judgment Day betrays her. That's the only way I see Liv losing the title. But honestly, if that doesn't happen, I'll just say Liv retains and just has the feud somewhere else with Stephanie Cure when she gets cleared. But I don't know.
Yeah. So
Um, well, not Ethan Page. Ricky Saints loses to Trick Williams for the U.S. title. Shout out Ricky Saints for doing an Eddie Guerrero style of ejecting Lil Yachty.
yeah,
Saw that on YouTube show. That was nice. Trick Williams retains, of course, because it's obviously Trick Williams is going to have a good reign with that title. And with Yo Yachty there, I'm surprised that that connection actually works. Surprised, like I don't like celebrities that like no one that I've not heard of in wrestling, but Lil Yachty is a big exception because he can actually make it work with Trick Williams. So yeah, the US television is slowly getting up there in terms of like good ratings, but like not it's not like a fast ride. Just give it time and it will be up there.
yeah. I think it's about time for Ricky Saints to win that title. The U.S. title's coming up pretty soon. I'll give it like within the 2 months. He'll get it in two
Yeah,
months.
I didn't see Ricky win the title this early on his main roster run. I feel like he needs more time to develop his singles run. So it was good giving him a title shot here because then it can help see like what Saints can use that loss to elevate him into future victories. Seth Rollins beat Braun Breaker in a really epic cage match. What I heard.
It
Glad
was.
Seth Rollins.
It was a banger. That's end of the feud. So it
Yeah,
is looking up.
Seth Rollins ended the feud of his own faction. That's storytelling right there. Thank God that feud's over with. And Seth
Yeah.
Rollins Seth Rollins I saw, he was bringing the weapons in the cage. Like he knew that this was the end of an era. He had to end it off with a bang. Braun Breaker got busted open, so that kind of added to the cage match, and it made Braun look strong because he kicked out of a normal stomp, so he had Seth Rollins use a super stomp. Kind of reminds me of when he fought Omos at Backlash. Omos could have regular stomp, and Braun said he used super stomp. That's how you make a giant like Braun Breaker look strong. The fact that he can take a regular finish, but a super finish can't kick out of it. So that was nice. Yeah, go ahead before I get to the main event. Go ahead.
But I think Seth, plus how that match went, I think Seth and Braun Breaker did have great chemistry in that match. In general, they did.
They had a banger at Backlash too. I saw
Yeah,
that match. They had a banger. Like I loved the story of it too, with Braun Breaker overpowering Seth Rollins. Like it was nice. So I like that. Now it's time to what we were all waiting for. Talk about the main event. Oh
yeah,
boy, Cody Rhodes versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Oh man, where to start with this match? I'm not gonna talk about everything about that match. I want to talk about the finish. Sammy rolling up Cody Rhodes for the 1, 2, 3 was the most unexpected ending to a world title match I've ever seen.
I think no one
Like,
didn't see it coming. I didn't even see it coming either. It's like,
I thought he was gonna lose to, like a haluva kick.
yeah,
Like, a roll up is crazy in a world title match. And Michael Cole was like, he couldn't even scream it because his mic got effed up from the announce table spots.
yeah.
Like, that crowd erupted in Sami Zayn when he won that title. I will
But
say it was,
Saudi Arabia loves Sami Zayn, so that's probably why they pulled the trigger.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm thinking it's too soon though. That's why I'm thinking they could have saved it for WrestleMania 43 since it's going to be back in Saudi Arabia.
I will say though, given how Sami Zayn is positioned on TV right now, it makes a lot of sense for him to pull the trigger now because then like in Mania, like what is there to do? Like that Sami Zayn position is just not there. It's like stale. So like the fact they did it now is impressive, I would say. And like it was a long time coming because Sami Zayn was never a world champion in WWE when he got called up in 2016. Like he's now a Grand Slam champion. Like
Yeah,
it's impressive for Sami Zayn how far he's gotten. Like I'm actually really happy for Sammy. I know someone isn't happy about that. Shout out Daily
yeah,
Passengers. Bro,
yeah,
Daily, did you see his post that he made?
yeah. I
Like,
did.
bro, he called him a freaking Muslim, boring ass Muslim. Yo, I was dying. Like when I saw the post the same thing with the title, the first thing that popped in my mind was, oh my god, Daily Passengers is gonna flip the fuck out. Oh man, he's
Yeah,
gonna flip out. I know damn well he was somewhere punching the shit out of his bedroom wall in anger. Like, man, Sami Zayn winning the world title really made him more mad at the product than he ever was. But I'll be honest though, as much as he hates you saying this, I think Sami Zayn winning the title was a good choice. Because like him winning at not every big one has to be at Mania, I would say. There's gotta be some moments where it could be at a B tier pay-per-view like now and Night Champions. So it's bittersweet, I would say.
yeah,
And hopefully Cody Rhodes is out of the title picture for a while because honestly it was getting kind of boring with him as champion. And honestly, like as much as I would love to see Randy Orton beat Cody for the title, I feel like this was the right call. I would say the only
as
thing is that
long
for
as
SmackDown, it really puts the title picture in jeopardy because like I don't know what's gonna happen with that now. Like Gunther's
yeah,
gonna be busy with because Gunther's with Nick Aldis right now, and Cody's probably gonna be somewhere else in a main event feud that's not for the title. So that leaves Sami Zayn just to be out there figuring out who his opponent's gonna be, which kind of interesting, I would say. I just hope he's not like a traditional champion and doesn't like what happened with Drew and Cody and Cena, where they hold the title for a while and then Cody wins it back. I just don't want that to happen with Sammy. I don't like. Which like just and the thing is that Cody does win the title back, he's gonna hold the title for less than 100 days. That's what I'm gonna say. So just hope Cody doesn't win the title.
Yeah, it's going to happen right before SummerSlam. So it's going back to him. So he's going to lose it probably the Saturday night main event.
I just
If
don't.
not,
I just
if not at SummerSlam. If what I've seen, what they're doing right now, it'd probably be Cody versus Jay. Whoever wins that match faces Sami Zayn at SummerSlam.
at least give Sammy at least one or two successful title defenses. That will actually help him be a better champion than just this traditional one. Because like you're killing the momentum that Sami Zayn, the fun Sami Zayn had, because he was a Grand Slam champion. Like he's he's has to be the champion for a bit. But if you really want to put it off of him and you give it to Cody, at least have Randy Orton return and attack Cody. Then you have Randy Orton beat Cody like that. At least do that. But if you're just gonna have Cody or Jay win the title from Sammy and just have nothing, then what are you doing, man? Like I know Triple H could do better without TKO's nose in their business. And I've always said that because when I watched the Triple H era from 2022 to 2024, every time a Raw SmackDown hit and there was not like a main event announced, there was like no clue what a main event was. Like the main event for Raw that I watched was Dolph Ziggler versus Austin Theory on Raw in 2022. And the match was great. And like it was like, yes, I love that because there was like nothing else that could really be on the main event level. So you want to put like a future star against a former world champion. Like it was interesting. Like Triple H, I loved how Triple H made it interesting because like he never knew what main event in. But now TKO is involved, and it's like the same thing every week, and I'm tired of it. Like these people that keep insulting Triple H and like harassing him, like I don't know what's wrong. They really just I know Triple H is not like in his heart he does not want to be that credible about it, but because of the way TKO is, he does not want to upset the people that has a cut of their profits or assets, whatever the hell it is. Like Triple H is forced to be with TKO. Like until this merger ends, we're not going to see the end of it.
It's probably never going to end. It's probably going to stay like this pretty much till WWE goes dead completely.
Yeah, I mean, but the day that the deal is over with and Triple H has like full control again, we're going to have a lot of great stuff to tune into. I'm just going to say that out there. That's all I'm going to say. Even though it's going to probably be a decade from now, at least. I just know that the day that deal is over, Triple H is going to have full control. He's going to be more comfortable with it. We're going to get some big storylines, some epic nights. It's going to be good. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, that was Night Champions. And honestly, like, despite the fact that Night Champions is not the same as it used to back in the 2010s, it was still a pretty good show for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, we are far away from disaster shows. Like, remember Crown Jewel 2018? That whole debacle with that horrendous tag match and that terrible World Cup final. And then
Yeah,
Super Showdown with Undertaker and Goldberg having a fantastic 5-star classic where people almost died in that match. Like, goodness gracious, man. Good thing that since Crown Jewel 2021, Saudi shows have been a lot better.
yeah, they've been proving it each year. They have.
They've even done the Rumble in Saudi Arabia, and it was a pretty decent show at best. And now we're getting Mania. Hopefully, this Mania in Saudi Arabia is better than Mania 41 because 42 because 41 was better than 42. 42 was well, night one was terrible. Night two was a little bit better, but not by much, really. A lot
Yeah,
of disappointments. I really want to get to that. That's a whole nother episode. So yes, that was Night Champions. Forbidden Door happened as well, and um that let me tell you, man, Swerve and Osprey. I don't know what they cooked with, but they 2 years ago they had a banger match, and now this year they had a banger match. Like Osprey and Swerve had that aura together. Like you had Osprey coming out as Bane with the mask. Like You had Excalibur losing his voice is what I didn't see the phone. I just saw highlights of the match, and I was just like, bro, they AEW is cooking with match quality. Like AEW is literally a show to watch, I would say.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up on AEW a little bit. It's just like the only time I do it is probably just watch the highlights and get it over with.
It's
But
really nice that you have a lot of things you can watch besides just WWE. Like you can also
yeah,
watch TNA, AEW, even when the show's bad, like TNA for example. Like it's been like meh at best since the start of the AMC era. But AEW is probably like the best, probably some of the best matches and roster members you could ever have on the roster. Like what other promotion you're gonna have Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr., Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay, Edge and Christian, or should I say Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus
yeah,
the Dogs with the return of Jay White. A 12-man tag team steel cage match with so much epic chaos, like a book bag exploding, Kevin Knight falling through tables, like Andrade turning on the Don Callis family and MJF, like Darby Allin falling in favor of thumbtacks. What other company do you think will go all out like AEW?
yeah. I think no one could actually. Don't think any show would, any promotion would have done that.
I feel like I will say though, I feel like 2022 to 2024 WWE would Triple H would really go extreme with that. I would say because I know Triple H would really love like extreme matches to cook. Not as big as AEW, but like to the point where it's like okay, it's close to AEW's wreckage, but not by much. Probably like around like a 80% of it. 80, not 90, like 80%.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's really nice that AEW is doing these collaborations. And I heard that Tessa Blanchard is probably going to go to CMLL. So we'll probably see her in AEW soon, given the collab between CMLL and AEW, which would be fine with me, I would say, because I do like Tessa Blanchard. Like she can really go in the ring. But you can hear all she wanted for her thing on social media. That stuff's in the past now. It's all in the past, and it's over with. Like let her cook in the ring, let her do her work. But if he doesn't go to CMLL, I like to see her with WWE. I wouldn't mind that. And I've heard that Baron Corbin is coming back, so that ought to be
yeah.
good.
The reason why I'm behind it, I've been hearing is he's gonna be like the person that Danhausen is doing like kind of like some type of experiment.
Mm,
So that's what that's apparently what Danhausen's mystery partner is gonna be or something or creation.
mm.
That's what I've been hearing. So
That would be interesting, I would say. That would be very interesting. Probably get like a return of a lone wolf Baron Corbin, which was probably his best gimmick, I would say. Because
yeah, I
like
think it
he just
was, especially like early days, like early on. It's like his gimmick. Everyone didn't like it at first, but it catches on, and then kind of likes it right at the closer to the end of it.
he just had that aura for him, that lone wolf persona. He just added to his aura, especially in like when he was on SmackDown. Like it was just cool. Then we got to Raw. It was just like fine. Like he was ready to good in the ring. Don't get me wrong. And he's pretty decent on the mic, I would say. But like I just feel like his booking from like when he got moved to Raw was just not the same.
It was. I don't think so. SmackDown. He should have just stayed on SmackDown.
Yeah, they tried to do it when he got drafted to SmackDown in 2019, but I felt like that aura was gone. Like he's over here doing dog food with Roman. He's over here like feeding with Elias. Like, what are we doing? And then he's just not getting booked on PL pay-per-views, not getting the respect he deserves. Like he just wasn't treated that well. So
If they do bring him back, hopefully they do way better what they did this time around than last time. So
I did saw that he was slowly turning to a babyface. He was getting cheered by the crowd on SmackDown before he got released. That is something rare because Baron Corbin was a really great heel, but him as a babyface was very interesting, especially in NXT. His NXT run before he got called up, like him and Braun Breaker, they cooked as a tag team. I would say and
Yeah, I
he
would
was.
like eventually we should get a reunion between Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. I would
I
like to
honestly,
see.
I wouldn't mind that because I feel like Braun Breaking division with Logan Paul, Austin Theory just wasn't there. It's just not there. I just feel like that's just a random team.
Only thing it was made in cooking pretty much when Seth Rollins was part of the group, and that's the only
Yeah.
way they've been keeping it.
And we had Becky Lynch in there too, but she wasn't there for like a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Just a few with CM Punk and AJ Lee. So that was pretty much it. I wouldn't mind Paul Heyman joining Braun and Baron Corbin. That would be kind of interesting. Paul Heyman with Baron Corbin. That could be something. And then
yeah,
Theory and Paul, they could probably be with like Bronson Reed or something. 'Cause I know Bronson probably like, Braun, what are you doing? Like Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul. That would be kind of okay with Maxine Dupree as well. That'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, I definitely want to see Braun and Baron Corbin back together soon.
yeah. I think like let them first match they win the tag title. Like first match together and get the tag title shot, and they actually win. Be a miracle right there.
Yeah, I loved like going back to Sami Zayn win the title. I like that it was unexpected. It was an unexpected finish. I feel like we need more of that in today's WWE product because like not every match has to have a 100%
Yeah,
finish. Like some like big matches have to have an unpredictable finish. Like in my eyes, I did not expect Io Sky to be Rhea Ripley on Raw for the women's title last year. I didn't expect that. Um, Another one is let me see, Lara being Becky Lynch at Backlash for the title. That's probably an unexpected one, I would say. Not that it was probably predictable, but I'm just saying, like Becky probably would have beat Lara, but they didn't have Money in the Bank. Naomi cashing in on at Evolution against Rhea and Io. That was pretty unpredictable. Like there's some unpredictable endings that like was really good. So Raw just ended, and honestly, this is where the good stuff comes in. Oba, Brock, Hell in a Cell. What?
yep. One last time, hopefully. I think this is the last match, anyways, in the
It
book.
has to be. It has to be. If Punk and Drew's story ended in Hell in a Cell, this match has ended in Hell in a Cell. Like Alba and Brock in the cell is something I did not expect. I thought they were gonna have like a last man standing match or a street fight, or but a Hell in a Cell match.
And Brock
Damn.
hasn't lost one Hell in a Cell match since his WWE debut, so
Wait,
that's gonna be making.
he's undefeated in Hell in a Cell matches.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar is.
Get out of here! I didn't even know that.
Not like I'm pretty sure. Let me double check my research, but I think it is. And then
He, he had two against Undertaker. I know that. It was Hell in a Cell 2015 and No Mercy 2002. I think that's the only two Hell in a Cell matches he has. Because as far as I know, there's no other match he's had Hell in a Cell with. Like he wasn't in 2018. He got involved in it. He wasn't at a Hell in a Cell pay per view besides 2015. So like
yeah, Brock Lesnar is undefeated in Ancient Hell in a Cell matches.
he's been in two of them as far as what I've heard.
Yeah, 2 and
You know,
0. So one was against Undertaker,
they were both against
and then
Undertaker.
and the other one was like 2015 against Undertaker.
Yeah, they're both against Taker, and those two were really good matches too. So that's why Brock. I should have known that Brock was undefeated in Hell in a Cell because Brock was the one that said Hell in a Cell. It wasn't Obafemi, it was Brock. So very, very nice attention to detail right there. But and now Seth Rollins called out Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns accepted his challenge for a match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen at least before the one of them does retire. At least they have at least one match before they retire or something.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where a lot of older wrestlers are hanging up their boots. But it's good that we're getting some new talent that are going to make like Obafemi, for example. Trick Williams is getting up there too.
Yep, Javon Evans getting there as well. So it's like I want Javon Evans to at least become at least world championship before beat Randy Orton's record though as the youngest world
Mm.
champion. I
I'd
do
like
want
to
that
see
to
him.
happen.
I feel like he should be a mid card champion at first because he's like a perfect guy to become a mid card champion first before being a world champion. Because I feel like being a world champion at this time just wouldn't. I just don't know. I just feel like it just wouldn't feel right for Javon. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it's probably going to happen. I forgot when Randy Orton won his world champion. I think 24. I think he won it
It,
when
it
he
was
was 24
2004.
years old.
It was 2004 at 24 years old against Chris Benoit at SummerSlam. That was when he
Okay,
was the
so
youngest world
Javon
champion.
Evans just like 21, 22, so he has like at least another year beat that record.
Yeah, he has time to build himself up. He could probably be an eventer in about a couple of years. Probably before Randy Orton's 24. Something like that, yeah. But also, I realized I saw AJ Styles interview with Chris Van Vliet from a couple months ago, and AJ did say that he didn't want to wrestle at his 50s, and AJ Styles was 49 is 49 years old right now as of this moment. So
Damn.
it would
Mhm. I didn't even know that actually. I thought he was like, I know he was in his 40s. I thought he was like at least 47, 48. How he
yeah, I didn't
wrestles and everything.
I had to check him myself, and he was in fact 49 years old. He was 1 year from being 50, so it was good that he is well his final match was when he was 48 years old. That was his birthday was in May, so he was 49 in May. But he was closing in on 50, so it was a good choice that he retired, and it was good that he retired the Rumble, so that's when he debuted. So yeah, good storytelling right there. Um, Liv Morgan and Io Sky had their segment, bro. Liv Morgan with the like, bro, what was she on when she did that for a lot? That was like 5 seconds.
I have no idea really.
Like that was unnecessary, but it made me laugh. But Liv Morgan apparently has a new submission with the single leg Boston Crab. That's something.
Yeah,
I mean, it's effective, I guess.
because Io
But
did have like an injured knee or leg or whatever it was before, so it would have made more sense in a way to do
yep,
submission Boston Crab.
yeah, I guess. But like, I feel like if Liv gonna use that, she should just not use it like on just if she's working on people's legs only. They should just use it like if that's her finish, she should really use it more often. But yeah, speaking of, I'm actually here's an update, and I hope to get Punk can hear this. I'm making my own Liv Morgan persona card myself. I'm making a Liv Morgan 26. I already made the casual gear. I'm just trying to figure out what the ring gear I want it to look like, and I'm gonna make a custom entrance for her too. So I'm
Wish
gonna make
he,
a
I
I'll make a
wish
YouTube
Disney
short on the entrance.
had a cross-platform on PlayStation, so we can actually see your creations on 2K Pun's live stream.
That's why I'm gonna make a YouTube short on it too. So that way you can see it from there because I'm on Switch too.
Yeah,
And the model I'm using the regular Morgan model. I'm not using the My Faction version, so that's like a 24 version. It's gonna include a custom entrance myself. I just need to figure out how I want the entrance to be. So it's gonna take a while. But yeah, I'm working on that. I'm gonna finish it up after this episode. So yeah, we're getting Live in EO. We already talked about that. Danhausen with the Judgment Day. That's it's entertaining. Anything with Danhausen is entertaining. Like
and
them stealing Danhausen's jersey and like just Danhausen getting it back with the briefcase explosion distraction. Like
it's probably going to lead
Danhausen's
up to Dane Housen versus either JD McDonough or Dominic Mysterio at SummerSlam, most likely, if not Saturday Night Main Event right there.
I mean he's advertising for Saturday Night Main Events, so he's probably gonna wrestle there, but that's probably when we'll get to see Baron Corbin team with him. Like
Hopefully,
because they've been teasing this thing with Danhausen and this like Mr. Crate or something.
Yeah,
Or we might see a Matt Cardona, given that Matt Cardona's been helping out Danhausen.
but he's also got cursed, kind of, or electrocuted in a way, and kind of bringing his old Zack Ryder gimmick. So
I mean, it wasn't like that big of a thing like how Kit Wilson and The Miz got electrocuted. So I don't know if it's anything like that really. Because like Jaden McDonough, he was perfectly fine with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. So I feel like Matt Cardona. I just want him to be just Matt Cardona. I don't want to be Zack Ryder because like I feel like Zack Ryder is just like a mid card character. Matt Cardona is like a main event level character. That's just my opinion.
I would rather deal with Matt Cardona than Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder was great for his time, but I feel like we need to go right past that because when Matt Cardona returned, he specifically likes to be called Matt Cardona. So I'm all in for Matt Cardona because he's an indie king and he showed that he could be a world champion. And I'll get to that one before we end off the episode. But yeah, so Danhausen with the Judgment Day, entertaining. Rey Mysterio beats Ethan Page, further helping out with the mid card, which is pretty much good for the division for the IC title. I just hope it doesn't lead to another ladder match. That's all. I just don't want to see another ladder match.
One time
Just
they
I,
should do a lot of matches at WrestleMania.
but I mean, like with SummerSlam, I didn't really mind the TLC tag match at SummerSlam. That was a really good idea. Kind of made up for that mistake of not putting the TLC at Mania, so I accepted that. But like, I feel like for this one, it should have been like probably like a 6 pack challenge, maybe, or maybe like a battle royal to determine who faces Penta at SummerSlam, something like that.
And I'm thinking we are getting something between LA Knight and Solo Sikoa, though what just happened on Raw.
Yeah, given the MFT, she's one step away from Solo. I feel like Solo is one team to LA Knight, but I think LA Knight is going to take a while for him to trust Solo, given everything that Solo has done. They're
Yeah,
slowly
man,
building it.
but I seen like Solo Sikoa in, well, after Jimmy kind of beat LA Knight, Jay got in the ring, got pretty much attacked him. Then Jimmy was on the ropes. Solo Sikoa came out of nowhere and Simone spiked Jimmy, pretty much.
Yeah,
And then
LA
LA
Knight's
Knight
gonna,
doesn't even know
it's gonna
what to
take a while
do.
for them to. It's gonna take a while for them to coexist.
Yeah,
But I really don't mind it. I just feel like a lot of people. I'm just tired of LA Knight with the bloodline. LA Knight should really move on to their feud. But if it's calling it something good, then I'm all in for it. But yeah, this feud is we already had this feud. We don't need this feud again.
yeah. But ain't dealing with that. It's like LA Knight dealing with the Judgment Day before and everything. So it's like
Wait, he was dealing with the Judgment Day?
I think
I don't
he was.
recall.
I think unless it was
I don't.
someone else, I'm getting mixed up with.
I don't recall a night feuding with Judgment Day. I think it was just Cody, Jay, Seth,
Oh,
and
oh
Sammy
man,
dealing with Judgment Day. LA Knight was supposed to be with the Bloodline. I mean, that could be interesting. LA Knight feuding with the Judgment Day. That could be interesting. Something
yeah.
different. Yeah, so yeah, LA Knight's definitely someone that they're really sleeping on because he has the tools to be a world champion, but they just don't see it. Well,
Um,
TKO don't see that. I know Triple H sees that,
but
but TKO
I did look it up though. It said yes, LA has been involved in several feuds and crossover programs with the Judgment Day. So
has he? I don't know because he's mostly been a SmackDown guy. Just maybe we're a Raw team, so I've never seen those two like collide unless it's like the Royal
because
Rumble.
LA Knight did face like I think like it was like a singles match. LA's faced Finn Balor. Was I
Oh
don't know
wait,
what
that was
year.
wait. I remember that. That was actually a one-off thing because it was a Bray Wyatt tribute show on SmackDown. It was Finn against LA Knight in the main event of SmackDown, just because they both had history with Bray Wyatt, so that's why they were in a match. But it wasn't like a feud or story or anything like that. It was just like a one-off match to pay tribute to Bray
Yeah,
Wyatt. So yeah, I'm remembering that now, but I didn't. But in terms of like a storyline base, and there's nothing like that with LA Knight and Judgment Day. There's nothing like that. So, but I mean, we did see. I do remember John Cena, LA Knight, Cody, and Jay they have a face to face with the Bloodline and the Judgment Day on SmackDown going into Fastlane. I do remember that segment at the end of SmackDown. It was 2023. I do remember that. But yeah, and then like Raquel beat Maxine Dupree in 3 minutes, and nothing special there. Chad Gable beat Dominic.
No, it was
I think
JD
no,
McDonough.
yeah, it
It
was JD
was.
McDonough. That was my bad. It was my bad. Dominic was just at ringside with the jersey, and then Ken Housing came and took it back. So yeah, that was Raw. Uh, I don't really know what to think of it because I didn't really watch it again because I can't watch it on Netflix. So any thoughts on it?
I say like it was a good show to like kind of watch, but it's like kind of like only thing that made it a little bit better was pretty much only two bangers was pretty much for SummerSlam. Oba and Brock announced 1-on-1 in the Hell in a Cell, then Seth and Roman one more time for the world title at SummerSlam. Really, the only two pretty much best segments right there out of the entire show.
I mean, they can do like both those matches on night one, and then night two be like Oba versus the winner of the. They could do like the winner of the Hell in a Cell will face the winner of the world title match at SummerSlam, or maybe they do
Um,
like Oba versus Roman in the Saturday night's main event. There's a lot of
um,
possibilities.
yeah, what I've seen so far, Adam Pierce, no, Oba said to Adam Pierce he doesn't want that world championship right now. Let him make it official for SummerSlam, him versus Brock inside of Hell in a Cell for SummerSlam. So he still does have the win the championship after this feud's over with. Probably at next PLE or something.
They probably might do like Oba against a world champion at the September pay per view and Money in the Bank. Wait, no, Money in the Bank's in October, so I guess I don't know what September pay per view is going to be, but it'll probably be at that event, which I don't really mind. Really, I wouldn't really mind that, but yeah, I feel like given Oba family feud with Lesnar, it's I mean it's bittersweet because we're getting a Hell in a Cell match and we're getting Roman versus Seth, so at least it's solving that. So even though people probably not be happy about how the King of the Ring men's winner is being treated, you got to understand that we're getting Roman versus Seth, Oba versus Brock in the Cell. That if that's not something you'll be down to watch, I don't know what is. And that's I'll call it to the IWC community, the people that like that hate on the product like so much that there's nothing good to say about it. Like I'm tired of that.
But
So
like any other, but this is not. They didn't say this is Brock Lesnar's retirement match, so that's why I'm wondering if he actually does do what he did at WrestleMania, actually takes his gloves off and his shoes. Hopefully this time stays retired.
it might be that he might stay retired here because he's returned to SummerSlam twice, and this was a show he became first ever world champion, and he has a lot of history at SummerSlam. So it's definitely the perfect place to retire,
And,
especially in his
and
hometown of
plus, I think
Minneapolis.
also in his hometown too. Think it's Minnesota as well, so what made sense for him to
At
retire
least
there.
at least at Mania was reasonable why he did that retirement angle because he felt like he just felt so humiliated that he didn't know if he could wrestle anymore. I like that idea. Like at first I was confused about it, but then I understood it more when Brock explained it. So hopefully this time Brock, it's actually perfect for Brock to retire here, not a Mania. Because if like Brock and Mania just retired, just didn't really fit right. SummerSlam fits more for Brock.
Yeah. But
So
either way, it's going to be Oba Femi walking out to win at SummerSlam for that match. Rob's
yep,
going to pass
just
the torch.
at least Brock will look strong with Femi. Like those two are gonna beat each other a lot. I expect a really good match out of those two because they've had two bangers, and I just know those two are gonna do great, despite the result being pretty kind of predictable.
Yep, and especially now these days. Now it's like before now, like beforehand, that you could actually predict something and kind of get it wrong. Now it's like everything is like easy, and you know who's actually going to win before the match even started.
The only match I see being unpredictable right now is Roman versus Seth. I don't. I That's a match that I'm like, it's really 50-50 on who
It's
on
going. I think it's gonna be Roman.
Yeah, but like I
Like,
don't know, because Seth, they could do maybe Oba versus Rollins, Oba versus Seth. Like that match, it's gonna take a while for me to do predictions on that. But when we get closer, I'll see what I can predict about it. But at the
yeah,
moment,
because
I
we
don't know
only
what to
have
pick.
3 match cards so far too. So
Yeah, now by the King of the Ring winners, King Queen of
yeah,
the Ring winners. I'm very interested to see what SmackDown could cook because now it's a 2-hour show now, so hopefully we got some good stuff going, especially with the world title picture. Can't wait to see how that plays out. I just hope we don't see no Cody Rhodes in there. I just hope we get somebody else to face Sami Zayn. I wouldn't mind seeing Gunther for Sammy, I would say, because I feel like Nick Aldis will probably give Gunther one more chance to get Sammy 1-on-1. No excuse. Like, they'll probably do that. I would for Sunday's main event, I wouldn't mind that. But for SummerSlam, I'm interested to see what they can do for SummerSlam. But before we get end off the episode 2, it's time for another game, I would say. Name 3 wrestlers that did really good in other promotions that was booked terribly in WWE.
okay. Hmm. So that one's gonna be a tricky one. I have to try to remember all this, all the people from crossovers from each brand on each company.
I got one right out the window. Christian Cage. Christian Cage, like when he left WWE in 2005 to go to TNA, and he became like NWA World Champion, like it showed that he could be a world champion. Like he proved that he had all the tools, and he was really killing it in TNA. And then when he returned to WWE in 2009, he was carrying ECW, and what was his reward? Being 2-time world champion, having short title reigns. Like what?
Yeah, they should have done that. Yeah.
Like, bro, what? Like, I never understood that. Like, and then Christian Cage, like, him in AEW now, he's like 2-time TNA TNT champion. He has a great character right now with like the whole father thing. Like, bro, when he was a heel doing that stuff, like, bro, you can't tell Christian Cage wasn't cooking, especially on the mic. Forget about it. If you're a pro battle with Christian Cage, you are not winning that war.
So I already kind of gotten a couple people, or at least 2 people already thought of now.
Okay,
Andrade,
bet. Oh my,
Andrade.
bro, Andrade, dude, especially when he returned, like, that
Yeah.
stings me, man. Especially in NXT. Like NXT, he was like one of the best stars there. And then he just gets he gets called up just to be dropped down the card. So he's finally seen Kara on the kickoff show. On the kickoff show? It's not even on Team SmackDown.
Yeah. Okay. So there's and Mustafa Ali is doing better in TNA.
Also with Andrade, bro, he was US champion. And what was his reward? He missed Mania because he got injured. And then he lost it to a freaking unexpected way to Apollo Crews. And then when he goes to AEW, he literally just like he gets booked in the main event levels and then he gets dropped on the card again. So then he goes to WWE and then he doesn't even win a title there. I mean, he wins a speed title, but like for the tag titles, he just wasn't pleased with the booking of his character that he just leaves before he wins the tag title with Ray Phoenix. And now he's having a way better run AEW. Way better. Now he's in a program
Yeah.
of MJF and the Don Callis family. Like Andrade really he has the tools, especially when you can see him in NXT. Like he definitely has the tools. And now Ali, here's a funny thing. In 2019 at the Chamber, I predicted Ali to win the Chamber match. No joke. I predicted Mustafa Ali to win the Chamber match in 2019. And then when he gets injured, and then Daniel Bryan retains, like, uh, I don't know what I was thinking back in the day. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just going for the unpredictability, and I just paid the price for that. I don't know what I was thinking,
Yeah. Um,
but Was Ali ever a champion in WWE? Like at
Do
least like a
what?
mid card champion? Was he at least a mid card champion?
Who? Mustafa? I don't. I actually don't know if he won the mid card title actually,
I don't even think he did. Like
or
he was
mid
just
card,
there.
or world title
He was,
because he was in feud, but
oh
for
no,
world
I
title.
didn't. He wasn't being a world champion. He was just challenging for it and just showing that he can be probably one of the best. But he was even. I know he wasn't cruiserweight champion. He wasn't cruiserweight
Yeah,
champion like that. He wasn't even a mid card champion. That's odd. Like someone who's been in WWE for like from like 2018 to 2023, 2024. Like what? And at least now in TNA, he's having way better success. He was X Division champion. He was international champion. Like especially
yep,
with his Order
yep.
4 and Ali We Trust. Like Ali's really helped. He's helped develop his character and TNA. And we have seen him in WWE a few times. He was in WWE a few times because of the collab. So it's really nice to see that. I think was he rumored to be Dominic at No Mercy in 2020 before he got released?
I don't even know.
Because
I don't even remember all this, but I remember Dominic was NXT North American champion at the time too. So
he was forced
then
to
they
face he
had
was
to,
booked to face
they had to
he was booked to
cancel
face
it.
Ali at No Mercy.
Then they,
He was booked to face Ali. I think he was supposed to lose to Ali, but then he got released. That's when Trick Williams stood in. That's when he beat Dominic. I think there was rumors about that. I don't remember. It's been like 3 years already. So I don't know. But yeah, Ali's definitely another one. A second one for me is R Truth. R Truth, man. We're talking about the first ever African American NWA World Heavyweight Champion, someone who was really good in TNA and helped, and his character was really good, and someone who had potential, but just the booking just failed to capitalize on it. And don't even get me started on that 2011 heel run. That was the best part of his WWE career. Don't even get me started on how that crap ended.
you know, him and the Miz done.
Dude, that was some of the best TV level quality ever. Him and Miz, like who can forget the epic thing they had at Hell in a Cell? Who can ever forget that when they like
I
took over the
remember that
ring?
in Hell in a Cell. It was like I think John Cena was facing. Trying to
He
remember
fought
who it
Punk.
was.
He fought Punk and Alberto Del Rio in the Hell in a Cell for the WWE title in a triple threat Hell in a Cell match. That's when Del Rio won, and then Cena attacked him. Then Miz and R-Truth came out and just assaulted everybody.
Hmm. Oh, oh yeah, I kind of forgot all about that actually.
I mean, it had Del Rio. So what do you expect?
Yeah,
it,
everyone's
it had,
forgetting about Alberto Del Rio. So
oh, we don't need to talk. We don't need to talk about Del Rio about that. So we don't need to talk about that. We don't talk about
you know,
him. So yeah, Archer of him is like who can ever forget when they beat when they beat Triple H and CM Punk at Vengeance in the tag match, and then they went out in the main event against Cena, Rock, and MSG at Survivor Series. Like Archer was like his 2011 was like his prime, in my opinion, for WWE at least. And I really wanted when he returned at Money in the Bank, I really thought we were getting Ron Killings back, but no, we're just getting goofy, cringy R-Truth. But the thing is that I loved when I love his comedy. I want to cringe so bad with R-Truth, but I just can't. Like I can't. He's just hilarious, and I don't mind that. But I just felt like there's potential for him to be Ron Killings. There is. Like I know Triple H sees that, but again,
but he
TKO doesn't
kind of
see that.
shown it temporarily though. Like
Yeah, rarely. Like when he confronted Gunther and Brock Lesnar, and like when he was calling out Drew, it was also the Ron Killings there, but not by much.
in
Do
my
you have your
third
third
pick,
one? All right, I want to hear this one.
Killer Cross in TNA.
Karrion, oh my God, Karrion Cross is another one, man. Karrion
Yeah,
Cross, man. Karrion Cross, someone who literally in his last year was losing to Sami Zayn twice, couldn't even beat him once, and then he just like Scarlett barely wrestled in WWE. She wrestled like twice on TV and a couple times on live events. And Scarlett could go in the ring too. Her and Karrion Cross, especially
Yeah.
Cross, especially in running NXT was top notch. That was peak. Like, and then when he had like one of the worst debuts ever. Just have been a gladiator gimp. And this was right after he lost to Jeff Hardy. And no offense to Jeff Hardy, but like you could have put Karrion Cross against like at least a lower card guy, like a jobber guy, to help establish him.
Yeah.
Karrion Cross is like, I'm a fan of him, and I'm glad he's doing well at MLW. But damn, man, the missed potential that he could have had in the main roster. Him and Scarlett too. I could have seen both of them be champions together. I feel like
They
Scarlett
were
was more.
also they were
Go ahead.
teasing it whenever Karrion Cross came back to WWE. They were doing teasing him versus Roman for that Universal Championship at the time too. Because if you remember that hourglass.
I remember that. I remember that when he returned. But like they just didn't capitalize on that. They could have done that extreme. They could have done that like I don't know when because Scarlett. I mean not Scarlett. Carrie had to go with Drew McIntyre. They could have done Cross like when Roman was absent. They could have done Cross was Roman at like maybe like Backlash because Backlash Roman wasn't even at the show, so they could have done Cross with Roman then.
But they
Like
changed plans and they kind of screwed up right there.
I know they couldn't do Cross versus Roman at Payback because Roman was feuding with he was with Jimmy and Solo then, and they were going LA Knight, so and John Cena. So there's no way they could do Cross with that. But they could have done like the Raw Mania. They could have had the SmackDown Mania. They could have had Cross call out Roman, and then Roman and Cross made at Backlash. I wouldn't see Cross win the title, but it would show that Cross could have done something with Roman Reigns to the point where Cross would become future world champion. So
And Karrion Cross, is he's actually happy Sammy won that world title too. I seen because someone was telling him during his I think his press conference or whatever at in MLW.
it's hard to pronounce that right.
Yeah, because
But
someone said you heard about Sami Zayn winning about his first WWE championship, and I forgot his reaction over that though.
I feel like Cross is just playing as like someone that supports Sami Zayn, supports another wrestler. That's the beauty
Yeah.
about wrestling is that they always support each other. So I'm glad that Sami Zayn got support by Karrion Cross. I'm sure that Cross loved working with Sami Zayn. I know Scarlett did too. But yeah, especially Scarlett. Like Scarlett was like a wrestler before she joined the company, and like she barely wrestled. She was like a manager for Karrion Cross, which I just thought was nonsense because like she could work in the ring. Like she's really good in the ring. So yeah, that's another disappointment too. Both of them, I would say, not just Karrion Cross, but also Scarlett, given how Scarlett was booked. Yeah. So my last one, um, surprisingly, I would say Drew McIntyre, and I say that because like here's the thing, um, he when he was on the Indies after he got released, this was back when he was like a jobber from like 2010 to 2014, and then he gets released. He goes to the Indies, and then he goes to Impact. He rebuilds himself up and becomes a star. He returns to NXT and becomes NXT champion, but he only has one defense on pay per view, and it was against Andrade, and he loses to Andrade. I'm not a fan of that. I feel like Drew McIntyre could have done better. So then he gets called up because he was injured when he lost to Andrade. So then he gets called up with Dolph Ziggler, and that was cool. You know, Drew and Dolph, they were together. That was cool. However, when they break up, you put Drew McIntyre in like random ass storylines just because he's a heel. Like none of them just felt like they focused on Drew. And then like when he was by himself fully, he goes out to win the Rumble, which was good. And then he faces Brock. And COVID hits, and Drew doesn't get his moment in front of fans. He does have a good reign with the title twice. He has really good matches, but again, they weren't like in front of fans. Now, I'm not saying that the fans kind of messed it up because I feel like despite there being no fans, it was still really good matches in the pandemic. Some of them does involve Drew McIntyre, but it could have been better. So then when the crowds come back, you have Drew feud with Jinder Mahal, which on paper was fine, but then the match just didn't deliver to the expectations. And then from as time goes on, Drew doesn't even win a title. He just wanders around the mid card, main event, mid card, main event, mid card, main event, and then like he's just a stale babyface at then. Like loss after loss, he loses big matches, doesn't even get a chance to win in Cardiff, and like when he turns heel, he has a great rivalry with CM Punk that culminates in the Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, and then he wins the world title in front of his wife and in front of his in front of his fans, just to lose in 5 minutes to Damian Priest. And then like Drew wins the world title finally against Cody Rhodes on SmackDown in Germany. He doesn't even hold it towards Mania, and he loses to Cody Rhodes on SmackDown. Now he's off TV because he's filming, which good for him because I know he's gonna make a great movie. But the point is that whenever he was a world champion, something just felt missing to the point where he wasn't fit to be like a great world champion. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like Drew McIntyre just had more potential, and I just felt like his his best moments were just not with titles. Like his program with Punk was great, his team with Dolph, but his anti-title reign short. His title reign, despite being entertaining and great, just felt missing with the crowd. And like when he wins the world title in front of fans, he loses the world title in 5 minutes, and then he doesn't even get the hell for 100 days. Like, I don't know. That just kind of bugged me with Drew McIntyre. And then he's over here teaming Logan Paul against Jelly Roll and Randy Orton, which was a pretty passable match. But, like, Drew McIntyre, they couldn't have better with Drew. Couldn't have better with Drew McIntyre. And I just hope that when he returns, he gets better booking. So, kind of a hot take, but to end off this episode, but I just wanted to get that out the way because, like, Drew McIntyre just, I don't know.
They better be pushing Drew McIntyre. If not, he's going to ask for his release pretty soon to keep it up after this movie. Because if not, he'd probably
That's
go
gonna
back
be a
to
big loss.
TNA, probably.
That's gonna be a big loss. He might go to AEW. I wouldn't mind him going to AEW because I would see him. I would see him going to AEW and have some bangers. I feel like he'd be better with AEW because the booking in TNA. I don't know. Not a big fan of it there. So probably better with AEW. But I know he's not gonna go AEW anytime soon. But like the way he's being booked right now, the way he's being treated, I don't know. So that's my number three. My three are R-Truth, um Christian Cage, and Drew McIntyre. And your three was who?
Oh, dang it. Mustafa Ali,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm trying to remember. Gosh dang it, I just forgot already. Trying to remember
It was
the team
wait, it
were.
was Andrade, Mustafa
Yeah,
Ali, and Carrie Cross, and
yeah,
also Scarlett too. Also wanted to add
yeah,
Scarlett in there.
yeah. Since she was pretty much part of carrying crosses, so kind of pretty much pick one.
Yeah, there's a lot of other talent. There's a lot of people that was better off with other promotions besides WWE. So let you know what other people think in the comments too. But other than that, I think that's gonna wrap up this episode too, or
Yeah,
this podcast.
yeah. Hopefully,
But
see how well it goes next week and see what the storyline going on with Roman and Seth and everything else. How they're building that feud up.
looking forward to how SummerSlam is, and I'm looking forward to see what SmackDown has for their storylines too. And
Yeah.
can't wait to see what the fallout is for the Great American Bash for NXT. And yeah, other than that, yeah. So see you then.
All right. Okay, now you just message me.
All right, man. Peace.
Take it easy.